which I think also has a set working. I don't know if they released it yet. No, it still does not have a set. Alright, final run. Threads of Fate? You think they would? It'd be pretty cool, man. Skies of Arcadia. Only profits were getting really low. I mean, they're making Final Fantasy VII. You have everyone on that job. Bow, bow. And Final Fantasy XIV money. People are pissed at Final Fantasy XIV. MMORPGs just haven't been my genre since, you know, 10 plus years. Early MMOs are my jam, but current MMOs, they just don't do it for me. I still need that feeling that I can make my own build in some way. Pick my own skills, pick my own stats. Can't really do that in most RPGs these days. They even took that out of like World of Warcraft, and now everything is just streamlined. Can't even go both cat and bear on my druid anymore. Because from what I last remember, they split up the trees. So it's its own thing. You have to be cat or bear. Alright, so this is go after Deadeye Joe and fight the doctor. Right? This is an alien queen. What homebrew MMOs did you play as a kid? Wait, why homebrew MMOs? What would be a homebrew MMO? But free and less than 1,000 players. I don't know how many players there used to be on these MMOs. But let's see. When I first got internet at home, I think the first MMO I had was Priston Tale, which was a pretty neat game. I was an Atalantian, or Atalanta, I think that's what they call them. It was like a girl with a spear and a shield. I would just gather up groups and then shield throw them. Atalanta is what they called them. It was. It's almost like Atlanta. Yeah, they had a shield throw skill that pretty much always stunned, and I would just throw my spears at everything. It takes a while till you get your really good, like, piercing AoE spear throw. So grinding was a bit slow, which is, I don't know why I'm jumping around. But otherwise, I think that was like one of my first ones. Another one was Rose Online. I guess we can talk about Preston Hill a little bit. The game... Fucking hell. Jump button, please. The game was very grindy. Experience was very slow. The game had gold in it, but gold was often not used past like level 40. Instead, what people did was trade items for upgrade materials to upgrade their weapons. I don't think it was like the 5th tier of upgrade weapon or upgrade materials called a Transpara. And they were very rare. And then Murky was the next one. I forget what the one after was called. But they were all very incredibly rare, considering how many monsters you actually kill in the game. In order just to level up, they do not drop very often. And nobody would ever trade for anything that wasn't perfectly rolled, because they didn't want to invest all their upgrade currency on something that was less than perfect. So you would have to go and compare what the best stats were for each item that you found and make sure that was something someone would buy. Rose Online was a cute anime game. I was a dealer, and my choice of weapon was the cannon. Technically, the cannon was for the bourgeoisie class, which uses money to hire, like, slaves to fight with you. I think I had my, like, these little archers that I had with me. And I did have a bourgeoisie. Otherwise, I was the crafting class. That was the main one I had. So a dealer upgraded into, I don't know what it was called, but I would just make items for people. Especially things like masks and back items, people paid a lot for if it had the right bonus stats on them. Usually the options were 7 strength, 7 dex for some characters, and 3 strength, 15 attack for other characters, depending on your class. I forget what mages used, since they didn't really need either of those two. It's anything with plus intelligence, I suppose, but I don't think it was like an elite plus int. Maybe like plus 5 in, that was it. That was a game where you could level up a buffer on a second account, just because it made you so much stronger. Like, the buffs were insane because they scaled the power of the buffs with your intelligence, not just the skill level. So you had all your gear with plus intelligence, the buffs would be insane, and they're just as worth it on low level characters as they would be on the high ones. There's no like nerfing of it. So it was easy to like level up a character, just buff them, and just destroy monsters a million times stronger than you. Yeah, I enjoyed making money and just making shit and selling it. Gemstone 3, never heard of that one. Ragnarok, I have played Ragnarok back then. That might have been some months after Rose Online. Although, no, I started Ragnarok Online on the normal server. Thanks, boss. I played as a thief, and I just, you know, stabbed things all over the place. One player was nice to give me a dagger with some cards that were effective against water creatures. I forget what the card itself was. I don't know why I did that. Browny's too short, so he has to actually jump up to fight this guy. So far, Sheena's the winner. She didn't die at all. Or she didn't game over. But yeah, my memories of Ragnarok Online was getting that weapon, farming the Smokies for the kitty band, getting the dagger, killing lots of Sohis. Since I got that dagger, I just spent all my life in Payon Dungeon until I became an assassin, and then continued to grind down there. Getting a Sohi card while I was there, that sold for quite a bit. And then after that, someone was, I think, in the Archer Village. I'm thinking it had to be the Archer Village, right outside Payon Dungeon. I'm guessing at the time you could Dead Branch on Hocus Pocus in that area, and someone spawned Lord of Death. So, the entire server was there trying to kill it. I was there as well, even though I couldn't really do anything. Let's try to stab it and I'd just die instantly. Except I kept going back. I kept going back and fighting him. And because of that, after it finally did die, I was the MVP. Not because of the damage I dealt, but I think it was the damage I took. I was a very good tank. And I got an old purple box out of it, which I sold for like 600,000. It was big money for a scrub. And I think that was it when it came to the official Ragnarok Online. Then I played private servers. God damn, Browny, you're the worst at this. Shit would have died by now to literally anyone else, just because you're too short. Why are you not dead yet? Are you healing? What do I miss the most? Well, I always go back to Ragnarok Online, so I guess it would be fair to say I missed that one. In fact, I was playing that a couple months ago. I used to go back and play Ragnarok like almost every year on a different server, but now it's been like a few years, and I came back to a server that I hadn't been to in like 7 years. Just because it had a really cool hat that allowed me to play Sage. like an auto cast Spellfist Sage properly. Can't solo Ragnarok online? You mostly can. Depends on the private server, I suppose. Never played in Ragnarok online, you're missing out. It's the fun, comfy experience. I don't know if you'll feel it the same way, although people do a lot of the same stuff on private servers too. Half of it is just sitting in town and talking to people. The other half is just killing monsters. You'll always find something that you want to farm up and kill a bunch of monsters for a certain card or materials for a certain thing. Let's see, after Ragnarok, was there any other notable ones? Pangya, I played a lot of Pangya. I mean, technically that's an MMO, not an RPG, but you have a lot of time in Pangya Golf. You mean Busty Farts, Wesley? The Rusty Hearts is a very Korean-esque MMO. No, no, I don't. Basically, you go in, you got a room, you pick a stage or whatever, you do the stage, then you come back and do it on a harder difficulty. There's a lot of games that are like that. There was a one called Dragon something or other. That was kind of fun. I forget exactly what it's called. Another one that I also played starts with an L, I think. Oh, right, Maple Story. I also did a lot of Maple Story. Can't forget Maple Story. Okay, Guns as well, yes, I've played tons of Guns, Stingwing. Probably even more than some other games. I was the K-styler with the rest of them. Originally, my weapon of choice was just 2 handguns. But then I switched to shotgun, handgun. Because when people get in your face, you have to K-style them or you lose. Pistols are for sniping people. 2 headshots, you're done. Shotguns are for closing in. Just attack people while they're trying to climb up the walls and shit. Slash them and shotgun them into the pit. Good job. Or just, you know, K-style them into the pit because you keep hitting them and it can't climb. What do you mean you open up and shoot bullets? I'm not allowed to do that. Shit, what was the game I said before Guns? I've forgotten. Oh, it's gone now. We said Pangya, right? Yeah, Pangya was my very first introduction to gacha mechanics. Originally, I was like, yeah, no, all I need is like one cash set, and a club with 12 control on it, and that's really all you needed to be competitive. But then I started buying those gacha outfits, and eventually spent a lot of money just to get the red and black clubs, the Scythe clubs, because they re-released them for like Halloween, and I was like, I need that. Spent way too much money on that. Never again have I spent money on gacha. Yeah, I was there when the Pangya servers closed. With whatever was left of my items that I would never see again. Took pictures of some of them. Some of the items I had. I should still have them in a folder somewhere. And like every cat whisker. Which they released once and never again. Those shits were rare. I mean, I don't remember what it was released for, but it kind of sucked they never like re-released them, so like the newer characters like Spike, I don't know, Kaz and whatnot, they didn't have them. Meet Stika. But yeah, I had a lot of costumes I didn't need. I had this one swimsuit for Hana that was like a two-piece, which was a mistake of theirs. Because you could just wear the bottoms on their own and just put on like a comfy top and they look like panties instead. And so that's how I wore them. I never wore the bikini top at all. I don't think they released any other swimsuits that were two-piece like that again. I think Hana's was the only one. I was in a very early bit of some shit realistic golf MMO. Feedback was unkind, as this was 5 years after we started getting burnt on the free-to-play pay-to-win. I mean, you could say Peng, it was pay-to-win. There was a lot of cash-exclusive upgrades you could get. What up, Parsec? Do they not have... Oh, just can't do that as a Browny. A small body makes the rockets shoot up higher. Can you not play that on, what do you call it, arcade? Arcade game after all. Imagine like 99.9% of arcade games you could just play in Fightcade. That should include power fighters. I'd imagine mastering that set again. The high-end challenges were rough in that set. They beat the whole game without getting hit. And it kind of was a gamble depending on what boss you got in the middle. And then I think you had to defeat Wily as well. Which you have 10 seconds to do, and if you don't do it right, you just lose. So yeah, I also played World of Warcraft back in the day. I don't really have anything fancy to say about World of Warcraft. I don't think so anyway. I played with a friend. I was a druid, I also had a shaman. Both Tauren. Or the Horde. I know eventually they added wolves, well, werewolves, but I'm not playing on the Alliance to freaking play a werewolf. But yeah, at the time they had the proper like talent trees before they just gave everyone everything without any kind of decision making. So there was this one time we had a paladin in a party for like a 5-man dungeon that we queued up for, and he was being a bit of an asshole. He wanted to take charge of the party. And I was like, I'm fucking here. Like, if you don't want to go, I'll go. I'll fucking turn into a bear and I'll tank right now. Just get out of here. And so I did. I can't even shoot him. He was dodging my bullets. I had to crouch. But yeah, that was like there were talents that I could have taken for Cat, but I didn't think they were very good. Like there was like one called Blood in the Water, and I didn't think was very useful, so I didn't take it. So I took the best of the Cat abilities and the best of the bear abilities. Because if I ever needed to like spot tank, I could, because I had the important tanking ones. I'm just glad it actually mattered one day. It could also mean I could queue up as tank as well in some dungeons, because you know how the dungeon queue could be. There's always DPS, but never enough healers or tanks. Never agreed to locking races and jobs like that. I mean, who on the Horde would be a werewolf? Because I imagine the werewolves are, you know, just humans, right? And they have to be. So if the Alliance forsaken their own, then that would be kind of weird. I'm sure there's story reasons why, or at least they made up story reasons for why this race is on this side. You got to play it once with a friend and streamer. Nice. It's a good game. I think Proto Man was the best of the three. I think it was especially because of his charge shot was worth a lot of points for some reason. There was something about him that I liked over Mega Man, and Bass just has a stupid dash that really sucks. I'm not a fan of Bass's dash. It's like a forward rising dash. It's not very good. So, the question that was asked was, what was my MMO experience that I missed the most? I don't know. Most of the games that I could play, I have gone back to at least one point in my life to play a private server of one. It's Pristine Tale, Maple Story. All those ones, so it's not like I missed them entirely. I've gone back and replayed them at some point. Of course, private servers don't usually feel the same. Usually just because of lack of people or lack of real community, since everyone just kind of plays with themselves with the overpowered gear that private servers tend to hand out. Increased experience, increased drops. You don't really need to work together anymore. It's kind of why Final Fantasy XI doesn't really feel the same anymore. I have played 11 as well. I didn't like it as much because I was very much a solo MMORPG player. And it was very party-centric. I mean, I did play with friends, so it's fine. But that game wanted you to do everything the long way. But at the same time, people helped each other a lot. Community was a very big thing in Final Fantasy XI. And that kind of died off when people stopped playing it. It certainly doesn't feel the same way these days. I've tried like a private server and whatnot. Even retried like the official servers. Now you can just summon everyone. You can summon your own party. You can have Shantoto in your party. But yeah, just because there's not enough people, it was a party-based game, you can now make your own party out of NPCs. There's a shell of its former self. It will never be the same. You just had to be there in its original form. Let's go Alien Queen. Final boss I have to defeat. Other hand got me. Try not to get hit by lightning. Oh, come on, you came from off the screen. What did you want me to do there? A little harder with the default trash weapon. That's okay though. We'll get there. I don't know, Prison Tale was a fine game. I don't know what made me want to play it the first time. I wasn't keen on like browser games. As a gamer, I had a little bit of respect, and I was like, these games can't be good. No RuneScape for me. It's gotta be garbage. Although RuneScape is very popular. But I wouldn't be caught playing that. I don't know, it's hard to say if there's anything I truly miss, because I've replayed them. It slid right into that. I saw the sparks coming. Okay, we destroyed one of the hands. We should be fine on this side, as long as we kill the weird eyeball things. Never heard that song go that long. Yeah, I guess Guns the Duel would be one I would want to go back to. Problem is, most Guns the Duel servers are just kind of dead. There's like a few people in one game that are playing against each other, and that's it. And a lot of the times it's just free-for-all, and my favorite mode was Team Deathmatch, so... You don't really get a lot of Team Deathmatch games in private servers, so... We had to go back. It would have to be like guns. Just not the same. Trickster Online I liked a lot. I actually played a private server of it. It's probably still up. Just go like playtrickster.com. Wonder if it's still up. Trickster.com. Was it play-trickster on? Maybe it's done. Play Trickster. Connection failed. SSL error. RX record too long. Well, seems like their site is either down or dead. Well, that's unfortunate. That or it's just a temporary thing that's broken. I think originally I played as a fox. And their thing was just throwing needles at enemies. Which did pretty good damage. And the other character I liked was Cat. So for cats, their evasion is their power for some of their skills. So honestly, you just build up being very tanky and that was your power. That was your damage. So of the classes, I think she was probably the best soloist next to... Well, actually, not next to anything. She just had, you know, the highest health. And very high evasion, so she didn't really take so much damage. And then when she did, she could just, you know, brush it off. Yeah, the characters, there was like 4 main stats. It was like power, magic, sense, and whatever the last one is, HP. And so each of the character classes were assigned to those stats. Rabbits and bulls? Some kind of cowman was a power stat. Speaking of, each of the classes were also sectioned off by gender. I think the basic classes had the same skills, but they were not as good at it as the opposite side. So I know for sense characters, it was the fox and the lion. Foxes were good at the throwing needles skills, and lions were good at the gun skills. They were good at using a gun. Cat and I think it was raccoon. Or HP. It was a fun game to play around in. I think we're the masters. I think we did it. Waiting for that confirmation. Let's go. Did I win? Did I lose? I don't know. I didn't notice if I did it or not. It says I did. Her achievement thing is just not triggering. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. There we go. We did it.